Hello everyone, welcome back. Please comment, rate, subscribe, folks. Comment, rate, subscribe, like the videos. Also share the videos. I want to thank everyone that does like, watch, and share my videos. You folks are the absolute best. Listen folks, there's a link tree down below. Has the links to all of my social media platforms. Please go down there, follow me across all my social media platforms and talk to me because I talk back. Also down there as well as links to all of my YouTube pages. Please go down there, subscribe to all my YouTube pages, and turn your notifications so when I post content, you folks will be in the know. Listen, folks, Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern, we'll be doing a live radio show here on this channel. Call in. We're going to be talking about a lot of things. I take live callers. I love going back and forth with you folks about this football team. So with that said and done and put to the side, I'm going to talk to you folks today about some of the standouts. You know, some of the guys that I thought really played very solidly in the New York Jets preseason game against the Eagles, man. Whoa, you know, there were some guys that were going out there and really putting some things together. And it was exciting to see. And again, we're still going through the processes. You know, cuts are coming up. We got all these things going on. More preseason games are coming up. But at this point, there's some guys that really are standing out, and we're still trying to figure out who's going to come out of the scrum in a lot of these position battles. So that's the big thing as well. So, of course, you know, Zach Wilson, dealing with that knee injury. He's going to be out 2 to 4 weeks. He got hurt in the game. Mike White came in, and he looked all right. You know, he looked all right. He made some solid throws. There were some misses as well, but he'll continue to get his chances as things continue to move on throughout the preseason. But, you know, he's going to come around and do his thing eventually. And again, Joe Flacco sat out, so we'll definitely be seeing him as well in these upcoming preseason games. But man, this dude, Chris Streveler for me stole the show. All right. He was 6'9", 62 yards. He had 2 touchdowns. One of the touchdowns actually was the game winner with 22 seconds left. He really put some things together out there, and he looked good. He's a guy that can move. He's a guy that can, you know, throw in kind of awkward positions and situations. I really liked what I saw from him. He was very impressive, and I know he caught the eyes of a lot of the fan base as well. That was like, whoa, this guy can really do some things out here. Now, I don't know where he's gonna fall. I really don't. Again, we got Zach Wilson, we got Mike White, we got Joe Flacco going forward. We'll see. Maybe he's a guy that ends up on the practice squad. I don't know. But this guy is impressive, and I want to continue to see him, you know, grow with us, you know, and see where we can go with him. So I'm excited about Chris Streveler. Hopefully he's a guy we can keep around the facility, stay on the roster for a bit again. Maybe he's a guy we coach up into being a backup, you know, and really get going with him. But he's a guy that, again, put together some impressive stuff, and I liked what I saw from him in this game. The next guy that I thought kind of really showed out as well offensively was Knight, our running back. Wow. Knight came in, 6 carries, 13 yards, but he had a touchdown, and that touchdown run was something else. He ran into like kind of a mishmash of bodies, and it looked like he was going to get brought down. But man, he mustered all of his power, and he continued to drive forward, and then he just bust out the bodies and got into the end zone. That was a run of will. He did not stop at all. He kept his feet going, kept roaring, kept going forward, put his pedal to the floor, and kept rolling, man, and got himself into the end zone. I really liked, what I saw out of there from him. And then he also had a 52-yard kick return as well. So he's a guy that gives you something on special teams. Now again, he's in a position that's packed right now, okay? Of course, we got Ty Johnson. We got P. Ryan, who we saw as well during this game. These are guys, that, we'll see what happens with them going forward. But then you got Tevin Coleman. Of course, we got Breece Hall, Michael Carter. Those 3 guys right there are the guys that I think, is the guys we're going to keep. Because I don't know if we'll keep more than 3 backs. I don't. But he's a guy that's definitely putting his bid in, if we keep more than 3 backs to be the guy outside of, Coleman and Breece Hall and Michael Carter. So we'll see, but man, he's a guy that I'm hoping we can keep around as well. Maybe stash him on a practice squad or something like that if possible. So Knight looked really good. Going to our wide receiver position that is really, full of battles as well. Garrett Wilson looked really good. 2 catches, 25 yards. He looked very smooth. Caught the ball really well. Another guy that was impressive as well was Lawrence Cager. 2 catches, 40 yards. This is a guy that we're constantly talking about almost like every offseason, every preseason, because everybody's like, man, if this guy can really get going, if we can, if he can really get out there and we can get the ball in his hand, he's a guy that can turn up because of his athletic ability and his size. Let me tell you something. He looked good in this game. This was a big man, okay? When you see Cager out there with the ball in his hand, you really realize how big he is when he's running past defenders. Not only is he big, but he's a guy that can move as well. A man that size, moving that fast is kind of, it's odd, man. It's odd to see, but he's making it happen. Now, again, you look at this situation with Denzel Mims, okay? He's battling. He's battling. That fifth wide receiver spot, again, if we keep more than 5 wide receivers, again, those slots, they're battling for. Once you get to that fifth wide receiver spot, Denzel Mims' spot on this roster is not like guaranteed. He's going to be battling for that. We knew that coming into preseason. So Cager is definitely putting his bid in as well there. Jeff Smith, I thought, made some solid plays too. He's a guy that's constantly pushed throughout this entire offseason for that fifth wide receiver spot. Denzel Mims had 2 catches, 25 yards. He had a bonehead illegal formation penalty, and he also had a drop. We saw bonehead penalties from him last season. So he's got to clean a lot of these things up, again, because he's battling for his roster spot. I truly believe that. Nothing with him is guaranteed, especially when we saw last season where he was just completely not utilized at all. Also, another guy, Rashad Davis, that Joe Douglas brought in that a lot of people were excited about too. He only had 1 catch for 14 yards, and he had a muffed punt. That was something that a lot of people talked about as well, was his ability to give us something on special teams. That muffed punt was ugly. So Mims, Rashad Davis, they got to clean some things up. But I'll tell you what, Cager and Jeff Smith looked really good. And again, Garrett Wilson, played well too. So that wide receiver position, they're still boxing. We're gonna see what's going on there at the bottom of that wide receiver position chart. So it was good to see those guys step up and go out there. Again, Lawrence Cager, I thought, was impressive. Now you go to the defensive side of the ball, and boy, oh boy, listen. A lot of people were going crazy because our defense, Philly could just kind of march down on the drives and really put some things together themselves. But again, we were missing, I think, like 5 guys, out there. A lot of guys sat. I know C.J. Mosley. I think D.J. Reed wasn't out there either. There was a lot of other guys, but there's 5 starters that did not play, right? But again, even defensively, we had some guys shine. Michael Clemons is ridiculous. Like, this guy's ridiculous. And again, in a defensive line that's full of beast, right? He's stepping up and he's standing out. 7 pressures. He had a sack. I mean, this dude was just putting on. He looked unblockable. He was just in the backfield constantly, in the QB's face constantly. A lot of hurries, all that stuff. Now, he's a guy, of course, that we know is going to make the roster. He just got drafted. But he's a guy with these type of performances that is pushing up, his stature as far as being within the defensive line rotation. So I'm excited to see him, man. This is a guy that we talked about all offseason. Once we got him, that, man, this is a kid that can really put some things together and go out there and have a big impact for the New York Jets defense. So Clemons really looked good out there. Another guy that looked good out there, Denzel Smart. Denzel Smart had 2 sacks, and he was handling his business out there really well. Now, the thing with Smart is this defensive line, again, is filled with beast, filled with them. I don't know if he sticks around. I don't know, okay? I don't know if he makes it because we got so many guys, so many. But he is making it known. He is not going to be an easy guy that you're going to cut because he's going to consistently make impact plays. And again, we saw the sacks. We saw the sacks, and we saw, the ability out of him too. If he continues to put these type of performances together, he's going to make it even harder to move on from him. But again, there's so many guys along our defensive line. It is absolutely crazy, and it's a wonderful problem to have. But we'll see what happens continuing forward with Smart. But again, Clemons was unbelievable. So comment down below. Let me know what you folks think. How do you folks feel about the New York Jets' first preseason game? What are some of the standouts that you saw? How do you folks feel about Streveler, Garrett Wilson, Clemons on the defensive side, pushing guys around, getting to the QB? Let me know. So comment down below. Let me know what you folks think. You folks have a good one. Peace.